Hey guys, welcome back to Study Collab. In today's video, I'm showing you how I edit my Instagram photos. So on my Instagram, I've gotten a few comments about how I make the background really white, what apps I use, and sort of how I edit and take my photos. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly step by step how to set up the photo in terms of composition and taking the photo. And then of course, how I actually edit it using different tools on the apps that I use. So first of all, one thing that you'll notice throughout my entire Instagram feed is there's a lot of plants and greenery. They're fake plants, of course, because I can't take care of real plants. So these ones were super cheap and they've lasted me really long. You can get them from IKEA. I think they're $5 each. They're a really good deal. I bought them with a pot as well. I'm just showing you at the back here exactly what the name is for the product. I have a variety of different plants, but these are two that I got from IKEA and the ones that I probably use the most often, just because they're a nice size to put in the corner of the picture. And then the next thing that I'll do is I set up my notes. So I might have my notebook and then the plant as well, and then some pens. The pens that I use are typically the ones that I use to actually write the notes. That's good to help people sort of gauge an idea of how you wrote the notes, but also it matches the color scheme of whatever you're taking a photo of, so that blends in really nicely. Here I have some biology notes that I wrote leading up to my exams. You can sort of take photos of anything. They don't have to be ones with diagrams. All text is fine. I have some of those throughout my Instagram. So having a variety of different notes is good. I also try to alternate between the subjects that I'm taking notes of. So maybe some will have chemistry notes, some will have biology, some maths, just to mix things up, because for me, different types of subjects have different types of notes. That sort of spices up your feed a little bit. So once I've put my notes down and chosen the page I want to take a photo of, I'll put a plant somewhere. So I might put one in the corner next to it. I don't really know, just play around with it, see what looks best. And also I try to, again, vary it from whatever the photo I just posted was. So if it's in the corner, you don't really want your whole feed to be notes and then a plant in the corner, every single one. You kind of want to have some variation, some with plants, some without plants, put them in different positions, just play around with everything and see what looks best. And then I'll take some pens, put them on the side. I might open them. Here I've just opened the pen and then placed the lid next to it so you can still see what color that I used for it. I try not to cover the actual notes or diagrams with the pen. I'll either put them on the side or put them on a line of writing rather than the diagram, just so it sort of doesn't cover up whatever I've written. And that's pretty much it for composition and setting up my photo. I personally like to have consistency throughout my feed, so all my photos you'll see they're on white backgrounds. To do this, my desk is actually white already, so that helps out. I can just take it straight off my desk. But if you don't have a white desk, there is another solution, and I also use this a lot because my desk is kind of dirty, so the background just is harder to edit if I take photos on there. So what I'll do is I'll take photos on a white piece of cardboard. I recommend getting a poster size. This is really good if you don't have a white table but you want to keep it consistent. You can do the same. You can get sort of wood backgrounds. You can get a black piece of cardboard. Just choose whatever background you want. I got them from Riot Art and Craft in Australia, but they'll probably sell the same thing in your local stationery store. So the next thing is the equipment and apps that I use. So I try to take photos with natural lighting. Typically that doesn't work because I take my photos at nighttime just before I'm about to post them. So the lighting is typically very dark and there's a lot of shadows. If you can, turn on the lights of all your room. Maybe some side lamps would help, but usually you can fix that through editing, even if there's a lot of shadows, and I'll show you how to do that. So I'm just taking a photo with my iPhone. I use my iPhone to take all my Instagram pictures. I don't use a camera. I only use a camera to film my videos, but most of the time it's a hassle to get it all out and then transfer it from the camera to the phone. So I'll just take it from my phone. I have an iPhone XS, so the quality is really good, but basically any phone camera should do you good. It shouldn't let you down. Personally, I think it's all in the way you take the shot and then the lighting and editing that will make the biggest difference. I'll just get all the angles, take some from the side, the top. The one I like to do the most is an overlay, so I'll just go on top of the notes. One big tip I have is, especially if it's not during the day and there's no natural lighting where you are, I would recommend using your flash, and I always use my flash to make the editing a little bit easier. When you do the white background trick that I'll show you on Snapseed, it just turns out a lot better. I don't exactly know why, but it just does. So once I've taken all the photos and I'm sort of happy with at least one or two, then I will head on over to my phone and then edit. So the apps that I use the most are Snapseed and Facetune. So Facetune I don't really use that often, only if I really need to like color something in. What I use the most is Snapseed, and this is how I get my background white, how I do all the editing. Most of the time I will just use Snapseed. Snapseed is free and really easy to use, and it can basically do everything for you. So I recommend you download that app. So what I'll do is open Snapseed and import one of the photos. Another tip is if you're taking like a lot of photos, what you should do first is go into your camera roll and just like flick through them. And then the ones that you think look the best, they're in focus, they've got a good composition and you're happy with them, then I would favorite them. And you go to find the photo in the editing app. It can be difficult if a lot of them look exactly the same. As you can see in this photo, it's not the best quality photo. There's like a lot of shadow, it's quite dark. The background's just like very uneven. This can be all fixed through editing, and I'll show you now. It's like magic basically. So as you can see in the image, there's a lot of, it's sort of very uneven, and as you can see, because I've taken it overhead, there's like a huge shadow, which is just me taking the photo. The next tool that I'll use is the selective tool. And this tool is the reason why I love Snapseed. I'll just press the plus button and add the little B symbol into different areas of the photo. I try to spread them out evenly around the photo, especially you want to concentrate them in areas that are a little bit darker. You want to slide your finger to the right to increase the brightness, and then slide your finger to the left to decrease the brightness. Once I've spread them out initially, I'll just like crank up the brightness a tiny bit so it just evens out the lighting a little bit. And then once I've done that, I'll go into the tools again and then press the one that says tune image, and then press the one that says tune image. What that's going to do is edit the whole entire photo. So the one before is just selective areas. This one will change the settings for the entire photo. So what I'll do is I'll increase the brightness a little bit, play around with the ambience. That I feel like that one brings out certain colors of the photo. I try not to put that one up too much because sometimes it distorts the color and then makes it look weird. I kind of want the photo to look natural at the same time, but then bring out the colors. So I'll increase the saturation a little bit as well, maybe decrease the highlights, sort of just play around with it. This tune image part is sort of up to free reign. Every photo I do, it's sort of different. Most of the time I'll just increase the brightness by like 30. So what you're doing with changing the image for the entire photos is sort of just evening out things. So the lighting, that evens out like the shadows by increasing the brightness. But if you increase the brightness too much, you might not be able to read the actual writing, so just be careful with that. Once I'm happy with that tune image, I'll go back into the selective tool, click areas again that seem a little bit darker. Mainly I just click the white areas on the perimeter of the photo. I'll probably click like 3 or 4 of those selective tools and then crank the brightness all the way up to 100. And this, if you do it throughout the entire sides of the photo, it'll even out and then give you that pure white background that I have on a lot of my photos. I don't usually put a selective tool on the plant itself because if I increase the brightness on that too much, it just looks weird. It doesn't really look like a plant anymore. So I'll just do it on the white background. Yep, so that's how I edit my photos on Snapseed. Once I've had that, I'll usually just post that straight away. I don't put it through any other apps. Honestly, once you've done it a few times, it takes like 30 seconds to a minute to do. It's really nice and easy. You don't need all these different filters and different apps. I hope this video was helpful and you can use these tips to spice up your Instagram, maybe change up your editing style, up to you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it and you found it useful. Don't forget to leave a comment down below letting me know what you thought. And also subscribe to my channel if you're new and want to see more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!